Vi. Those aren't... Jhin is definitely not a hyper carry. Okay, well...
I mean, there's no true tank, but Leona is kind of a true tank at the end of the game. Like,
exactly. So Jhin has a lot of playmaking, and FlyQuest do have a lot of playmaking. They don't have a lot of damage for super later for the early game. So CFO, they're going to have the extra pushing power of the grubs for these turret plates. We'll see how much extra money this does result in the early game especially. And if FlyQuest focus on the dragon stacking will pay off. Of course, this FlyQuest, squad.
As Inspired is going to wrap his way around. Looks like CFO are going to get off this dragon as Teleport is going to bring Bwipo in. Junja actually just going to waste no time, flashes away, but Bwipo might be able to get on top of him. The ulti not going to work out because Bwipo ate the CC, and that is first blood over to Inspired here. FlyQuest on the board. As the turret plates fall, a 14-minute first blood is not exactly the earliest, but the fact that they get a second Drake is huge.
They could teleport Quad to go answer the top wave as well. If they don't want to drop the top wave, send the Taliyah over there.
As the flash out, Curtain Call comes on in as, Masu's just going to be able to pick that one up. And those two dragons, man, like everything is coming up FlyQuest here in this game so far as Quad might be the first sign of it not quite working out. As despite the flash, Honku still able to pick him up. The redemption comes down as well, as we do see picture-in-picture that it should still be this Rift Herald going down. So they will be able to collect that one, and that is also going to be some feats of strength almost gotten towards as well, as Busio could be in trouble. Level 7 here, so he does have the unbreakable will, but he is still taking a lot of damage. These Sand Soldiers, man, they are really hurting. Not quite enough to get the kill onto the cow through the ulti.
Really good early flash from Honku. Preemptively flashes to gain the...
Two turrets immediately?
Yeah, they take that one down. Topside's going to go to Honku as well. But really good early flash from him to create the play. And Quad still flashing and dying is really
this
going
is like
to...
baby's first book, you know? Like it's not quite the Fiendish Codex. It's okay. Driver could be in a little bit of trouble here as Quad throws a whole bunch of rocks into his back. The seismic shove connects. And I think Quad wanted to let us know that the book's pretty good, actually. It's not too bad.
Yeah, and he rides that one all the way to the pick. CFO, though, with 4 people, they're also going to answer with the last remaining outer turret that FlyQuest had standing.
Yeah. And Doggo is, of course, Valkyrieing forward into Busio as the slow test his dragon.
I think that one is gone. That is an oyster dragon.
What does an oyster dragon look like? Oh, like a mountain drake. Oh, sorry, yeah.
You
just told me what it was.
Very
he hasn't bought in quite some time. Is okay. Driver back in lane, maybe back in trouble again as Bwipo. We're going to try and take him down. There's the all out. See whether Driver can actually survive this one. Deadly Flourish will be avoided. There's the curtain call as Driver desperately trying to get out of here. But I don't think he's going to be able to do so. The last bullet doesn't connect, but Bwipo does have a Q. Manages to take that one down. Meanwhile, things are very, very dark on this map right now. Busio is going to rotate his way down. CFO have all the information they need. This is just gone. And you were talking about the great experience crisis of the early game of this series. That might be mitigated as Doggo does get himself over the right side of the wall. Driver desperately wanted to do the same thing, but there's a little bit of brush, and FlyQuest realized that I think their only real option here is to try and push down mid.
You can tell FlyQuest were so confused there. They had no idea where CFO were because Bwipo just teleported to his own secondary tower when he was split pushing on top side and had finished up that top tower. FlyQuest had no idea. They were completely bamboozled by that play from CFO, and then they saw...
We did manage, like, the feats of strength did go over to FlyQuest. They at least managed to lock that one in. This early setup, Masu already 50% of his health bar taken away as Doggo's rockets are really starting to hurt Quad. Wrapping around the side, doesn't have the Weaver's Wall up just yet. There's now Driver on that flank angle, checking for Inspired, who should be able to get himself in here. We'll see whether they want the turn or whether they want to get themselves the Dragon. FlyQuest moved their way in, though. Inspired biding his time to make sure he gets in at the opportune moment. Solar Flare goes entirely wide as Inspired gets his way in there. Junja having to flash his way out, though. Seismic Shove gone wide. Equalizer is down. Not doing too much, though, as we can see. As the Drake already low as well. The exhaust comes on down. Bwipo gets into that backline. Kaiwing's in a little bit of trouble. And down goes the Xin Zhao. That's going to be the Drake going over FlyQuest. Pick up this soul point, but have they found the fight? Driver still wanting to try and burn them. As Honku gets on in there. There is Bwipo looking for the angle. Emperor's Divide, though, will be his shutdown. And it's Doggo that picks up the kill. Look at these health bars does. Doggo desperately wanting another Valkyrie, but he will not be able to get
FlyQuest into this early.
My god, Honky is doing so much damage to this objective. FlyQuest's going to have to make a decision. Teleport is going to come through from Whippo as they get a nice knock up onto Kaiwing. He's thrown back with the shove. Equalizer goes down though, and Quad is just dead! An overextension, as we can see, as now Junja goes in. Busio, the next one to fall, paying for his mid laner's sins, as Doggo is of course flashing forward. It's Whippo to go down one more time as he tries to all out his way to safety, but that is not going to stop CFO from taking this Baron and getting a big lead. Never mind though, it's Kaiwing that's going to go down first. Inspired collects that, but Emperor's Divide pulls him back, and they'll trade jungle for support after the end.
Kaiwing here gets stunned up and immediately deleted. So CFO are very, very, very happy with the start of this fight, and then they just witnessed. And so it's a level 17 Azir with a big lead. Junja though?
Yeah, Junja is in a little bit of trouble, able to flash out of the way of the seismic shove, and there's not a whole lot of damage available to take him out when his ultimate's running. As now Busio likely to just die. Driver will be slowed down, but it's Quad that's dead again! Oh, it's a disaster for FlyQuest. It's into the backline, goes Inspired, but I just don't know whether that was a great idea, as Doggo is going to be able to take him down while he's trying to ult him into the sky. And CFO, this could be them just marching up the mid lane and taking out the first inhibitor of the game.
Yeah, I think they might destroy quite a bit of the FlyQuest base here with the Baron buff still on for a long time here. They get to continue pushing an inhibitor down. You also see Junja pushing in on the bottom side wave, but he's gonna run right past it and look for the end.
Well, we'll see whether they can do it right here, right now. There are 2 siege minions making it so difficult. The curtains have been called. I don't know whether they're for CFO. They will be able to stay alive. So FlyQuest, they do survive the push here, but CFO have broken open the base. They take an inhibitor turret. Pretty good Rebel Baron power play. We were talking about keeping your eye on that one. Yeah, that's good number.
Yeah.
Just find a spot to stand as Vi so you can kill the guy that does the damage.
This is what...
This is the Pyoshik play.
This is solo queue. You go and get an enemy camp.
Well, this is going to be an enemy team that CFO are looking for. Busio does have the unbreakable will, and he's going to need one if they want to stay alive in this game. And oh, not just a camp, that's a crab.
I mean, Alice, people call it different things. To me, when I do that, it's a bit of rage.
Yeah.
I'm rage clearing enemy camps at that point.
Oh, rage clearing is the rage counter jungle clear.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I think just rage clearing. I'm going to use that. I'm definitely going to use that. As Doggo Valks over the wall, will be able to keep himself alive. But now the wraparound has happened. It's not only a rage clear, it might also be Driver going down, but he does spot him here. Inspired, not quite with the surprise play that he wanted, but it's the all-out to bring them underneath the turret. Junja is going to be the first one to go down, as Doggo is, of course, over the wall. Honky goes golden as the solar flare is going to interrupt that curtain call. As, my God, how did Doggo do that much damage? That was
more chaos, and so they're going to continue to do it.
Yeah, Driver could be in a whole lot of trouble. The wall comes down. I don't think this Rumble is going to survive, and he doesn't think so either as he ults the wave.
Well, let's see about the teleport out. I say just keep on fighting.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do, as Junja, once again, potentially in trouble, does now have Honkyu and Kaiwing in the area. As the knockback from Buppo, there is another kidnap, like you said before, but it's going to be flashed this time. Blast Cone makes things problematic. Oh, the rocks go down. Honkyu, so much trouble, but still the damage is there because Doggo shows up. Massive amounts to come on through, but it's already 2 for FlyQuest. Doggo trying to survive against Whippo. He flashes over the wall and picks up a double, but Fly still able to win the fight, and it should be the Baron.
Baron is alive. It is forcing. They're definitely going to turn off the Baron, but CFO are doing a good job. They're not taking the bait here very quickly. They know it takes FlyQuest way too long to do the Baron, so they're not running into it.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall goes down. I mean, they left a control ward there, but the Equalizer is still going to do so much work as the Baron, they're still on it. The spikes are really hurting. Inspired, still lower and lower, and Doggo wanting that wraparound. Driver gets in there with the flamethrower, and there's Doggo. It is going to be the Baron secured by FlyQuest, but can they keep anyone else alive? The Emperor's Divide comes in. It's a double in the end for Doggo, and so there are a few Barons left up here for FlyQuest, but there's no people.
Yeah, there's only an Alistar and a Cassante to defend the base. CFO are going to come, and they're going to try and finish.
All right, let's see whether they can make that one happen as Honkyu shifts some sands to get himself towards Whippo, whose health bar is extraordinarily large. Driver Looking for the flanking Busio, and Junju's going to catch him because he's walking up mid lane to get back to his team. He's holding the wave. It's the Marin strategy yet again, but I just don't know whether it's really going. They might have been coming back to do the dragon anyway. However, it did look a little bit, I got flashbacks, you know, to that Maokai standing stalwart to stop the end of the game.
Yeah, it does buy them some time. On both CFO carries. So they have so much power here, but FlyQuest...
Oh, Whippo going in. There's the wall as well. Quad, though, keeping himself relatively safe this time as Honkyu goes golden. Seismic shove is going to be avoided with the flash, but Whippo picks him up, but he's not going to be able to withstand the Emperor's Divide. Into the backline goes Inspired. Busio's there. They need to kill Honkyu, and down he goes. Quad's getting flashed on, though, by drivers looking to burn down Masu. Doggo's still alive as well, and the rest of CFO have dealt with the other onslaught on the other side of the fight. Down goes Inspired as Junja with full health.
Quad and Masu, it is known to CFO, and they're not going to let him get away with it.
Yeah, Doggo will be able to spot them out here. There is the Mountain Soul to come on in as Doggo. They should be able to finish this game, but I've said that before. This time feels a little bit more true.
Well,
as we're seeing as these inhibitors may not have much longer, but we'll see. This bottom one's certainly going to go down as Whippo looking like he's defending this. Wind becomes lightning comes through. Man, that health bar on the Cassante is so massive. But these inhibs are still going to go down. The flank angle there from Inspired. He still wants to look for it as they're under Nexus turrets now. Driver wanted to see what's going on. I believe spotted him just there. The first Nexus turret going to be lying on the floor. They need to pull the trigger if they want to stop CFO from taking this. But you can see they're playing so carefully as CFO not wanting to take any undue risks. As Seismic Shove will be Sonya's. And there's the Emperor's Divide as well. Honkyu keeps himself alive. They're still desperately trying to get on top of him, but it does not work. The young player is able to say no to FlyQuest and will now be able to take down the Nexus. It took a little longer than we may have expected, but